than 5 years ago, a little bit less than that now. It's a big switch from agricultural, more oriented thing. We're still a value-added farm business is what we're under. So we're basically, I grow 40 acres of barley. A lot of it hasn't been malted yet, but I'm working on a system up in the barn that will be basically by this time next year. I'm hoping that all our beers we've made with our own barley malted here. If we do that, growing it, malting it, selling it here, basically making beer, whatever, doing the whole works from one to the other. We can't find anybody else in the world that does that. There probably is somewhere in Czechoslovakia or somewhere, who knows, but we can't find them. And if there is, we don't know about them, so we're claiming to be the only ones in the world doing it. That would be our big claim to fame, I guess, if anybody cares. So yeah, we because we're farm oriented and value-added farm business, we had a little bit of trouble with the township there last year. They were twisting our rules a little bit, and we were trying to twist them all back, trying to get under some things that we really, thought we could do, but I guess we couldn't. But now there is agritourism thing coming out now, and that's going to really help us out a lot, I guess. So yeah, really getting tourism going in Ontario and rural parts of it is what the province wants to do, I think. So yeah, so it's that's a good thing. So it's working in our favor that way as well. But we didn't really get away with anything. We just changed some things around. We can't brew when people are in here, so we're closed for 3 days a week now instead of open all the time. Things like that. Yeah, that's about what we do here. We finally got a beer into the LCBO, so now our beer is available all the way to Ottawa.
Which one's in the LCBO?
Hackers.
Okay, Hackers/IPA.
Yeah, so we're moving up, we're getting a little bigger. We bought 4 tanks there last year, put those in. Yeah, it's been kind of a wild ride. We went from being big farmers in the barn who never did a heck of a lot, and nobody knew ever who we were, so we could get away with almost anything. Now that's changed. Yeah, people walk down the street, you don't know who they are, they come up and try to talk to you. So, which is good. It's been fun for sure. It's a different life for sure. We're hoping that we have sun in Calgary, and then we'll sell to somebody else, which we want to retire to eventually. So that's our plan. So if anybody have any questions about what it all went pretty smooth. Like we thought that there would be more hurdles to jump through. Probably the biggest thing was the mountain of paper about this high on the mayor's desk that he did. But you can get consultants to do it, but we're too cheap and we did it ourselves. And Mary did, like she was just unending paperwork for the government. But we had, I don't know what her name was in Toronto. She was our agent, I guess, when we all got the licensing going and everything. And she was really good. For a government employee, it was amazing. Like you would email her and she'd get back to you. She was provincial for sure. What's that? And the LCBO is nuts. That's another wing of the government that you deal with them. That went through the whole process of getting the beer into the LCBO. Yeah, you want to tell them a little bit about it?
8 months of emailing. No, it was good.
Emailing about what?
Just a lot of redundancy forms and hurdles. I mean, I think they want to have it standardized so that you can cross the T's, dot all your I's, but they can definitely trim down a few of them.
It's not so bad if you get back to it.
Yeah, and then a lot of people just go
Did
to
they
it.
kind of hold it? No, it's before COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this was last summer or fall week.
But yeah, it's it really went. I thought fairly smooth. We were expecting a bumpier ride. I was anyway. We got our own equipment, imported it ourselves online from China and everything, and that went really well. Yeah, we never. The bumps could still be ahead of us. We don't know, but it's all going as planned.
You went from a big farmer to a brewmaster.
Yeah.
How did you, you don't find out of music? How did you learn to
Well, we did 5 years of home brewing, basically. We started with Jim and Laura Susan. Laura is Mary's cousin, and so with her husband and me and Mary in our garage, we started making beer for 5 years before we did this, right after the kids left. And then we just experimented, and if the beer didn't turn out, you could go onto the internet and find out kind of what you did wrong and straighten it out. So we had we thought we had most of our issues settled before we got in. Making beer is like, if you can cook on the stove and make a delicious meal, you can make beer. It's just a recipe. And if you understand what went wrong where and tweak it and whatever, it's not rocket science. It's fairly simple. If you understand a little bit of chemistry, a little bit of cooking, it's all fairly simple. If the yeast cooperates, then you got beer, yeah.
I guess my big question is how you hung that tractor up there.
That was probably, everybody says, man, that must have been something. But so
You
what
just lifted
happened
it, right?
was, we went to Nashville about 6 months before that, and they had like a 50s Cadillac hanging on the wall.
Oh yeah.
And so we figured we gotta put something on the wall. And this farm-oriented thing, we had the junker sitting around, so we drained it all out, and I made basically the framework that's behind it, holding it up, and it went right into place, and within 15 minutes, we picked it up with a big zoom room we borrowed from Delta Power, created long forks on it, grabbed it by the front axle, and it was up there in 15 minutes. It was amazingly easy, yeah, it was amazing, yeah.
What year is that?
It's a 33 KC, and it's 4,300 pounds.
Oh my God.
But it's, yeah.
I don't think I want to stand there.
Everybody said before we opened, friends would come down, look at what we were doing, whatever. You take one look at the truck and say, well, that's coming down for sure. And then when it came down to it with the township and things we had with the county, that's the only thing we didn't care about. It was amazing. So I'd say it's, to this day, it's still up there. So, yeah.
Where do you source your hops from?
We get as many local as we can. The trouble with the hop business is that the good ones that we make our IPAs and everything with are basically, those plants are owned by a corporation. Like, they developed them over the years, and so those are only contracted to growers basically in Washington, Oregon, places like that out west. So the bulk of ours come from there. They're through Hop Connect, which is in Centralia, and they bring them in for us. But the bulk are from out west. Probably 10% were usually local growers. So, yeah.
Do you make a beer that's only local hops? Or do you plan to?
We haven't yet, but we can. If you use all Ontario hops, you can put this fancy logo on your label and show that it's local or whatever. I don't think we've made one. Maybe we did. Gold Nail, yeah.
Is there a hop farm on the 402?
Pardon me?
Is there a hop farm on the 402 somewhere?
There is. It fell over. They had a big windstorm last year and didn't pick them, and that thing still. It's beside Strathroy, but yeah, that's a hop farm.
There's one in Arcona, I think.
There was a hop cone if they went out of business.
Oh.
It's a tough business. And the local guys are all trying to peddle 4 or 5 varieties, and they're all the same. And there's big hopes for Ontario hops, but that kind of settled down and went away. I think there's a few guys still doing it. His cousin is, his kid is doing it. That's where we get most of the deal. He's got 10 acres or so. I think he's the second biggest in Ontario.
Well, I just made a comment, even though you're not in Warwick, you're across the road from Warwick, we're pretty proud of you.
Yeah.
We're pretty proud of you for your putting around, but maybe you just mention some of the partnerships that you've gotten into with local organizations and some of the other organizations you've dealt with, like, you guys are very successful
Yeah.
in doing that. I think you might be interested to hear about that, even the Legion.
Yeah, we're in a lot of, we will put a custom label on anything.
We appreciate that.
Yeah. There are hockey teams or anybody. There was a memorial for a young guy that died now. It's been a few years ago, and did a memorial label for them. And whoever will, we are small enough and have all our own equipment that we can do that. So we like that, and that gets everybody out there. Makes everything a little more personal. And no, it's really good. It's we enjoy doing those things. And we appreciate you guys coming to us with your hockey.
No, we really appreciate the support. I just wanted to mention it because you guys are involved in so many different organizations that we all, Lambton County and beyond that. And the cooperation that your business shows all of those other organizations is just absolutely incredible. Second to none. So very much appreciated. And also the product in there as well, which I know speaking from the walk at 150 and Tennessee soccer team in general, but I mean, I know it brought you more customers, but those customers came to be fully willing to invest and sponsor and support the community. So we very much appreciate that.
We appreciate it.
Joe, first, Joe.
Joe.
Calling you Mike. He's got Mike Nielsen.
I've been called worse. Anybody else? I'll let get out of your way and you can do your own thing.
I mean, is it, do you have a lot of stones on your farm like that?
I spent my life picking stones, no
Okay.
doubt about it. And yeah, it's that's the one first thing. Like we've had people from the middle of Toronto come and they're stopping by and stop in for beers. It's, oh yeah, when I was a kid, I remember picking stones. Everybody has a connection to it. It seems they won't maybe in the future, but days gone by, it seemed like every kid picks stones somewhere along the line.
I used to be in Prince Edward County, there's limestone there. What are the stones? Like,
Anything and anything. There's a lot of fossily stuff, granite, whatever.
Okay.
Whatever will break your combine.
okay.
You came up with the name Stonepicker. What were some of the other options you were thinking about?
We had a lot of our friends over to kind of figure out that's the hardest part of a brewery, making it something that people will remember and connection with what you have and everything else put together. And it's a difficult thing. Even beer names are hard to come up with that are catchy and good. But I think
Hack and slash is pretty good.
yeah. Originally, Stonepicker 21 was our beer. Kind of the first one we made that turned out half decent. And then all our friends said, well, just take the Stonepicker off the bat and call your whole business Stonepicker. And then, it seems like it sticks in people's mind. Yeah, and it's good. So, Gabriel?
I was just going to pick up on you saying people dropping in and telling their stories. And we've had a conversation before about, we talked about farmers' wellness, wellness in the mental health in rural communities. And having a place like this, it's like Thursdays. What happens on Thursdays?
Well, it's Farmer Thursday basically. Yeah, anybody else can show up. We don't get anybody out. But all the farmers get together, and when it's terrible weather or something's going wrong in your life, it's a great place to come and have a beer, just talk with people, get something out there if you have to, whatever. It's almost there. Yeah, no, it's good.
Certainly from the men's side, we talk about man sheds and stuff like that. It is difficult, I think, for men to find a hangout place in a rural community. And we both know of a couple whose wives have passed away and they're at home on their own, and being able to come here and just have someone to talk to is just incredible. So thanks for that.
Yeah, no, it's a spin-off. We didn't even expect that, so it was all good. Anything else, and I will stop now. Okay, I'll do that. You have other issues?
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks.